Your package is coming in the mail.
I'm so
It's on
excited.
its way.
Yo, watching this, she just blessed me with some brand new. It's not even out yet, so I'm excited.
Not even out yet.
That promo picture you sent me is so dope, and I was like, oh, I want to post it, but I was like, she ain't even posted yet, so I gotta wait. But it's so dope.
I don't even know when I'm gonna post it. You know, I'm really weird about posting. So.
Oh yeah, so I wanted to ask you about that. So like, with everything that's going on, do you feel like you're kind of like held back from promoting and posting your business, and you're like supposed to just be focused on like everything that's happening in America right now, or do you feel like?
Are you talking about the pandemic, or are you talking about like
a little bit of both, actually?
Both.
Yeah.
So when COVID first started, it was around March in the US where everybody kind of started freaking out at the same time. I remember the day, if you will. I was a little nervous that sales would decrease, and that's kind of how I proceeded. So I don't know if you remember, I did the bingo. That was like, okay, I need people to know I'm still alive. We're still out here because, I work from home. So all of my suppliers were still working and everything, and I was still working. So that's when it was slow. But then all of a sudden, I guess everybody realized that they were going to keep their jobs or something. And then everybody was just shopping online. And then my sales like skyrocketed. So I was like, oh my God. And then I had to start hiring people. And it was just like, it was a lot going on around that time. But with the police brutality, yes, I do feel like I either need to take a stand or I need to just back off. I don't know why I feel like that, but I was thinking of doing bleached out, Black Lives Matter shirts, but I don't know, with every cause, I always have to figure out, where do I stand, what am I going to be, advertising, promoting, is this a cause that Kimmy Colis is going to be very passionate about, so these are all things that I have to consider, along with like my reputation and just like, what did I do during those hardest times, so I'm still figuring it out. I think for a long time. So I'm literally like sitting and reflecting like while stuff is happening. So I'm still in that phase, and I think I do want to do something for Black Lives Matter. So on the lookout.
Oh yeah, you say that, I feel like a lot of people, they're really conflicted right now. Like, do I see it as normal, or like, does it look like I'm ignoring the But I think one thing, so I was kind of ranting about this on Instagram the other day. I think as creatives, I think this is a time that we're needed more than ever. I think this is a time where you can share your gift. And I think I've had friends like text me like, hey, should I feel bad that I'm not protesting, that I'm not marching? But then really everybody's like a piece to a puzzle. And I think everybody has a purpose. So with you and your brand, you might not be on the front line, but you and your brand can send a message in itself. So I think, I would definitely say, like, don't feel like you have to.
And you're right. Those people that are out there who are on the front line or who are protesting, they want to be protesting in style, probably, right?
Exactly.
So maybe I should do something literally for them, like if you want to be out there and, still be popping, like I can help you out there. So I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
So going back to just how you started. So like, what made you even start this? Like, where did the idea come about? Or like, when did you start it?
Yeah, so it was 2016. I was trying to figure out what to wear for homecoming. And that it's always...
What were you still in school at this point?
No, I was 2 years out. So I was class of 2014.
You was alumni coming back to stunt.
Exactly. And this was all during, do you remember the Thrashers era? Like everybody had their Thrasher shirt, right? So like the bleach style, I actually saw something online that had the lace in the front. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. I was like, I can make that. And I was going to go and buy a Thrasher shirt or an Iron Man shirt or whatever. And I was going to, sew it up. And I was like, so I just got this idea. I was like, well, what if I did it, for my school? I was like, my mom, she's a Spelmanite class of 83. Shout out to her. And then I had one of her shirts and I was like, oh, I can cut up this one. And it says Spelman on it. I can wear for homecoming. And I was like, whoa, no, this is too sentimental. I can't do that. I was like, I'm going to go to the bookstore and I'm going to buy a shirt. I'm going to cut it up. And that's exactly what I did. And then as soon as I did it, I was like, this is amazing. This is genius. I need to sell this. So I got really excited. I was like, Mom, I need $800. She's like, what is going on? I was like, you don't understand. I have an idea. And like literally 2016, I cut up my own shirt up. I have to find the picture. I'm gonna find the picture for you. And I literally bought a couple more shirts from the bookstore. And what did I do? I bought a couple more shirts from the bookstore, and then I sold them. Not really, so I didn't really sell them. I literally put them like on the floor, like on the grass at homecoming, and like people were just walking by, and I was just like, I made this. Come buy this. I had like 5 shirts on the ground, like literally like on the grass, and people were probably like, what is she doing? I was like, y'all don't understand. I'm about to sell this stuff.
Did you sell those shirts?
I didn't.
Look at you now.
Like people are literally stepping over my shirts. Like some people walked up my shirts. I was like, hey, wait. And that's literally how it started. Let me see if I can find it.
So that's how it started. So when do you feel like it really started taking off?
This is the shirt. Can you see it?
History in the making right there.
Yeah, it's me and my girl Zaire. Yeah, this one was from the bookstore. They don't sell this one anymore. So when did I feel that, I don't know, I think it was that year. What I was doing, I was buying shirts from the bookstore, and then I was going to Market Friday. So we have Market Friday at Spelman, and I was selling them. Mind you, I was paying like full price. You know, bookstore prices are like $50, $60 already. Right. And then I'm trying to sell them for the same price. I'm literally only making like $5, $10 profit. It was like, this is not working. But people are really loving it. They were so excited about it. And mind you, back then, my processes were not as detailed into the T as they are now. You know what I mean? So it's just funny because sometimes I see people in 2016 shirts, like this girl just tagged me in a shirt. I was like, she bought that in 2016. I was like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed. Do not tag me in that. But it's like, it's history, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't even make shirts like that anymore. Like the quality then versus the quality now, I'm just so proud of myself, you know? But I was like, the fact that they were loving it when it wasn't even, you know, what it is today, I'm just like so grateful.
Well, like with your process on like your quality now versus then, how did you like really grow? Was it more like self-taught, or did you get like a mentor? Like how did you just?
It was all self-taught. It was all self-taught. And then even from the beginning, I've always been very particular. Like that's just my style. That's who I am. Like even my employees now, they always like roll their eyes or huff and puff. I'm like, I don't care. We're going to do it again until we get it right. Like I can, hold on right there. I can literally get you, let's see, a sweater. So this is like my one of my most recent orders, and it's a custom piece. I don't even know this school, UW-Madison. I don't know if you can tell, but the white is bleeding, like the red is bleeding through the letters, and I'm like, that's unacceptable. And my employees are like, oh, it's vintage. And I'm like, no, we're doing it again. So I need you to find a crimson hoodie, a white hoodie. I need you to sew it together again. I know we just did this, but we're going to do it again because we're going to get it right for our customers. So I've always been like that. And I think
it's definitely important. So like just to rewind back even more. So you say you go to Spelman. Well, you went to Spelman. Mm-hmm. And there's always a lot of talks about HBCUs. We both met each other because we both went to like predominantly white high schools.
Yeah.
Area, and then we both went to HBCUs. So like, what was it like? What made you make that decision?
Going to Spelman.
Yeah.
Or going to a HBCU. Or both.
I would say HBCU and then Spelman specifically.
So I applied to Spelman, Howard. I applied to Clark. I applied to, I'm trying to think what other HBCUs I applied to. And then I applied to art schools. So it was like an HBCU or art school because I always knew I wanted to do fashion. Mm-hmm. I got into some of the art schools. The one in New York, I think I got like put on a waiting list. But what I learned was throughout my high school experience, we really prepared me for Spelman. We didn't really prepare me for art school. My mom actually went to Spelman. I don't know if I said that. So she really kind of paved the way, and I've always wanted to be like a Spelmanite just like my mom, you know what I mean? So she's really the reason why I end up going to Spelman. I just, I just loved it. Every time I visited, I was like, this is where I need to be. This is who I am. This is, that whole like 9. But it was either Spelman or art school. So as soon as I got into Spelman, I was like, I'm going. Mind you, they only have like 12 majors. I don't know if that's changed lately, but that's like 0, and my mom was like, well, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know, I'm going to Spelman. Like, I did not care, I was gonna go. I don't regret it though. Like, I was an economics major at Spelman. As soon as I graduated though, I had a lot of kind of corporate jobs. So I did marketing. I was a data analyst. I worked for City Blue, as you know, in Philly, doing allocating. But I was like, this isn't creative. This isn't fashion. So I do kind of wish I had that creativity. But it's funny. I have 3 employees who went to fashion school, 2 that went to SCAD, and they teach me everything I need to know. So I'm like, that's why I've hired you, to teach me the things that I didn't go to art school to learn for. So it's been great. Dope. I feel like I'm getting the best of all.
Yeah, that's really dope. And I mean, like, one thing about HBCUs, like, we love our schools. We love to wear them, but it's so hard to find cool HBCU gear.
Exactly. And I saw that gap in the market. I was like, this is all that you're wearing or that you're selling. I can do a better job at that. So let me try my hand at it. So that's kind of, the balance that I've been able to create for the market. So I'm really excited about that.
And since you're Spelman apparel, you've expanded to other HBCUs, you've expanded to letters. Have you had any pushback from organizations or institutions about Yeah. So how do you navigate that?
It's so funny because people think that it's just like smooth sailing. Like, other people have messaged me like, oh, I want to make school clothes. I'm like, are you ready for this life? I've had people take down my shirts, off Etsy. It's been very interesting, like the legal battle, and I'm actually still going through it. I'm actually still trying to, get my licenses and things of that nature. Fortunately, right now, everything is custom. So, I have that spin on it. But that is like a short-term, midterm goal, is being able to sell. It's not going to be fashion though. Like, it's going to have a little chemical lace, vibe when I do, cross over to the other side. But collegiate is very conservative, is what I learned. So we'll see when we get there. I just am so.
I've got to work around, like you said, like just not using like the school's official font, or you could say
it's
diversity. Like.
Yeah, but it's funny. People don't really challenge them, and they'll try to take you to court before they realize that actually they're the one in the wrong. So it's like, what do you want to spend a lot of money in court fees, or do you just want to back off now? And I'm not one to back off, so you already know. So I think being a little bit of a rebel has gotten me a lot of success, but I don't think it's going to take me very far. So I do need to figure all these things out, and that's the part of being a businesswoman, and an entrepreneur, and doing things the right way. It's always great to start out hustling, but I do think, like, if you want long-term money and long money, then you do have to figure out the system and how to do it the right way.
That's cool. So I know, like, I've seen you. So in Philly, we have a Doomsday Festival. Like right now, Juneteenth is like, everybody's like really starting to, understand what Juneteenth is and celebrate it. And like for Philly, we had a Doomsday.
Right.
And I actually bought one of your shirts there, and that's before I knew we're like walking, and I forget who I'm waiting. They're like, "There's Cam." I was like, "Oh my god, I got to get a shirt," and I got a shirt. And then like, I saw you doing it, but the moment that really hit me was last year at the Hampton Howard Classic in Chicago, and then I'm seeing like Lance Gross, and you're seeing all these people with your stuff on. Like, how does it feel, and how do you get your product to these celebrities?
It's funny because even Howard's homecoming, I had some Spelmanites text me like, Cameran, there's so many people in your shirt right now, and I'm not there. So it's a little sad because I'm like, I want to see that, I want to feel that, but I can't. I'm literally just sewing and selling.
Yeah.
But with Lance Gross, It's actually building relationships with the social media pages. So like Howard alumni is the guy over at Josh. Like we've built a relationship, you know. So even with my masks, I plan on sending him a couple of masks just so that he can, you know, get the word out, you know. So he actually posted it on the Howard alumni page, and then I think Lance Gross saw it, and then he just ordered from me, and I was like, this Lance Gross. It says he lives in LA. I had to ask everybody. I was like, I think Lance Gross just ordered from me. So once I realized that it was him, I realized he was actually going to be in town. And, you know, I'm doing my little, you know, you got to do your research. You got to do your background and stuff. Like, that's key. And I actually hand delivered it to him along with like 3 other shirts, one for his wife, one for his 2 for his kids. So I was like, which like I haven't seen him post pictures of those yet. They might have outgrown it by now, but he did his thing, and I was just so proud and, you know, grateful. He's just so genuine. So I think the fact that I was able to do it in a genuine manner gave me you know, the blessings that it did. So if I feel like, I mean, I do want to do some like, you know, more marketing and, you know, trying to get things out there, but I hear so many people getting, you know, burnt and just like all these horror stories. So I'm just like, you know, very grateful. A lot of it is faith, you know, how things have been transpiring. So.
No, that's dope. And I will say, like, even going to, I went to Hampton's homecoming this past year, and a girl had on one of your shirts, and she came and she said, "Oh my God!" And it's like it's bringing people together. Like you out here, like I never met that girl a day in my life, and she's like, "Oh my God, you got on like so like you know you out here."
And I love that because everybody who buys from me, it's truly like a one-on-one experience. So that's one thing I love about my brand. If anybody buys from me, they know my story. They know who I am. They're like, "Oh, Cameran," or "This is Cami Colace." Like, it's rare that people just, you know, see an ad and shop online and then just buy and don't know where they buy it from. I've noticed that the people who do have Cami Colace and they see other people in Cami Colace, they recognize like, "Oh, that's the bleach pattern. Oh, that's the lace up. Oh, that's Cami Colace. I saw that piece." So I'm like, that's really cool too. I want to have like a clan or like a group or some kind of like, you know, family thing. Yeah, I don't know what you call it.
Colace hive. You got your
Colace, right? Something, you know, because my supporters are also very passionate about me because, you know, I have a story. You know, I've always wanted to do fashion. I want to go back to school for fashion design in Paris. That's always been my dream. I still want to do that, but right now it's like I have to build the business up. You know, so that dream is a little on hold as I grow the business to a point where I can, you know, it can thrive without me, Cami. So that's where I am.
And so, like, we're talking about homecoming season. So this year, it's looking like there won't be any homecomings.
Oh my God, don't tell me that. I believe you, but please don't tell me.
A&T already canceled. Like, you know, it's a few schools already are like canceled.
Yeah.
But how do you think that's going to affect you? Like,
it's definitely gonna affect me. I think that the HBCU community is just, it's so rich that even if you cancel homecoming, you can't cancel our spirit.
That's we still represent regardless.
Right, exactly. So even if there's no like big event, I'm sure there's going to be virtual events. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of other things that that people are still going to want to rep their school. I do know also back to school, people are already thinking about like, okay, Cami, do you have masks, do you have sweaters? I really want to, you know, people still want their incoming students to have that experience, right? So it definitely is going to affect me hugely because I really do like, it's 12 months out of the year and like maybe 70% of my business thrives off of like 3 months, right? August, September, October, November, December. That's what September, October, November. Yeah, those 3 months. Those are homecoming months. So, and then like in January, February, March, I'm just like, woo! Like relax, kick back, you know, and get ready for next school year, you know. Fortunately, you know, I've had like basketball season and then unfortunately, fortunately, Kobe, I have a whole Kobe collection and it's doing so well. Rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. But yeah, it's definitely going to be affected. So we'll see how that goes. I'm definitely saving and prepping. I always have to be smart. I always have to plan ahead for, anything.
I think it's still gonna be a good year for you because, like you said, I think that culture is just so strong and so much light is being brought to the HBCU experience, like from Beyonce's Homecoming to like, I just feel like it's just more and more in conversation now. Like, I know when I was younger, so you were like, you had that Atlanta experience, but like being like just from Philly, we didn't like, even though we have Lincoln and Cheney, you just don't live that HBC experience. You don't get to see the marching bands. You don't get to see that whole culture. So I feel
Right.
like now, like every day I get on social media, it's something like HBCU versus PWI, HBCU this. This person got donated this. This was like, it's HBCU, HBCU. You can't escape it. So I think, and you're noticing the younger kids, they're really getting into it. And I think like, okay, so as people are watching this, they know that you have masks on the way by now. So you got the mask coming, and the kids, they're like worried about going back to school. Like schools are opening back up, and this is a way for them to still show. So I think you'll be good. We're gonna
Yeah, I hope
put
so.
that in the universe. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good.
And I think people really they want to shop, they want to spend, even if they're home doing nothing, like buying new things, bringing new things into their space actually makes them feel better. So I do think online shopping has benefited, from that. And my business is online. Like people think I have stores. When I do pop-up shops, they're like, oh my gosh, where's this store? Where are you located? I'm like, my store is right here. This is my pop-up shop. I'm online. And that is a goal to, getting the brick and mortar, retail store, but not immediately.
So that was like what I was about to go into next. Like so I know you spoke about wanting to go to study in Paris. So now you touched on wanting to open a brick and mortar location. What are some other goals for Cami Colis?
I want to do a lot of philanthropy. That's what I've always been passionate about. And I love using the business as a resource to do so. So if you look at my logo, the Liberty Bell from Philly, right? C for Cameran. And then this is a Jaguar because, I went to Spelman. That's our mascot. And then the diploma is because we support higher education. So I've always been big on higher education. So Spelman, we have an annual cookout where Spelman and Morehouse incoming freshmen come in and they meet all of the alumni and what have you. And I remember the last time I was there, I start talking to the incoming freshmen about what it's like to be a Spelmanite. And I just remember their faces. They were like the whole time they were just gazing at me. And then my mom, Spelmanite, comes in and she's like, what are you saying? Like these kids are like tuned into you. And I'm like telling all the nitty gritty, freshman year, what to expect, sophomore year, what you need to be doing, junior year, internship, senior year. It's not the end of the world, And then at Spelman and Morehouse is it's a lot of pressure to be great immediately. And I'm, telling them and teaching them, you're still finding your way, this and that. So I want to get my website up, camicoles.com, and I want to do a lot of blogging and really preparing people for, either their college experience, how to maximize that, and also career advice, because I have done the corporate and then I've done, small business, big business, so the data side and it's not always what it's cracked up to be, right? And then we have this new generation coming out where like they're not trying to, do things the more traditional way that we were taught to do, right? Some of them aren't even going to school. They're going to trade school or a 4-year, liberal degree. So that's something that I've always been passionate about, definitely getting my website and my blogs up, and also like maybe traveling and speaking and different engagements and not even only college students, anyone who's interested in getting more into the workforce, right? Also, what it's like working in the corporate world, you this color but you working with this color, you know? So that is a whole experience itself. You have to learn how other cultures behave and how to, you know, get along with them and how to, you know, do your job effectively, because some cultures, they'll tell you something and they mean something else and you won't know what they meant until you got fired. So, and I'm saying some cultures, but I think you know which one I'm talking about. So just all, you know, all that, getting people prepared, you know, and living a passionate, you know, a fulfilling life, right? Not just having a job and getting the next job, you know, actually like, you know, finding your dream, finding your passion and fulfilling that and what that means and what that looks like and how to get there. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, hearing you talk about that, that's definitely something that I think is right up your lane. Like you have, like you said, you have the experience. You have like from you wearing their shoes in school, you work corporate, you're an entrepreneur. And I think that's why those kids gravitated towards you. And I think we have to continue to use our voice to really give back. And I think that that's so important to me too. Like I'm like constantly doing like Zoom because whatever I can do to just help that next generation.
Yes.
So like Airstyle.net, so it's mainly based on music, but there's also like a fashion and lifestyle component. So when you're creating and your employees are creating, like what's the soundtrack? Like you go into the Cami Colace lab. Well, what are we listening to?
Ooh. I would say, okay, I don't want to disappoint you. I need silence. I need silence. I find that I do my best work when I am one track minded. And it's funny because if I am listening to anything, one of my employees, Bria, she'll tell you she put me on to Bossa Nova. Have you heard of Bossa Nova? I didn't know who Bossa Nova was. I'm like, what the heck is Bossa Nova? But like anything that it's not fast, it's just slow and mellow, like that's when I can think and that's when I tune out and I go into like a different zone completely. My employees, they like to listen to all kinds of things. They like to listen to like Japanese music and just, I don't know, a lot of different cultural music. And it's funny because that's how they connect to each other, is through their music. But if I come downstairs, because my warehouse is in the basement of my house, so if I come downstairs, I'm just like, no, we need silence. I need to think. Like you will hear me say that like a million times a day. Like I need to think, and that's when like, you know, silence is good for me. But they listen to everything.
How did you find your employees? Like, did you go through a program?
So in the beginning, all my employees are my friends, and I really appreciated that because they were always passionate about either the business, what I'm doing, me. I don't care. Whatever drives you, they were passionate about that. But what I learned is like I needed more than just that, right? So my current employees, I have one who's still a friend who I got from another vendor, who she came over to the chemical side, and then everyone else is Indeed. So I was gonna go to ZipRecruiter, but I just haven't got that far. I just got some employees and I was like, yeah, this is cool. Let's do it, you know, but that's even a whole like managing and training and people and personalities and what? I'm trying to figure out how to fire one of the girls.
Owner, you a mom, you everything. Like,
I'm a mom. I'm a therapist.
Yeah.
I'm a chef. I'm everything. I'm like, okay, this is not really what I signed up for, but if this is what it takes, so. And I'm learning everybody has their own, you know, internal things going on. And it's like, how do I, you know, bring, and it's like, I want this experience to be a learning experience for everyone. Like I have an intern right now and she's learning a lot about, you know, the behind the scenes of the business. She's a production and design intern. So she is learning, you know, how to, because right now, most of my employees we're knocking out orders. Like it's mainly like, make the shirts, you know, we got orders on the shirts, we need to make the shirts, right? But my intern, she's doing more behind the scenes where she's helping me out with like my blogs and with my social media and with customer communication and, you know, getting ready for styles for the fall, inventory management, you know, all the other stuff that I do, you know, speaking with my vendors, going to the fabric store, going to, you know, the print shop, you know, things of that nature, things that I do, but I need help with. That's what they're doing as well. So it's been a learning experience.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds, I mean, that's fun, like, because it's never like, you're never doing the same thing.
You're never doing the same thing. Like, we doing one thing we're sewing, next thing we're doing a photo shoot. You never know what the day may hold at Cami Coley. So I do think my employees appreciate that. It's always fun.
So now we're going to get into some Cami Coley's facts. So this is just like based on some of the stuff you're selling. So we know you sell a lot of HBCUs. What are the top 3 schools that you sell?
Spell House, of course, which is Spelman and Morehouse. That's where I started. That's where I'm based in Atlanta. The school is 7 minutes away from where I live. That's my biggest client. My second biggest client over time has been FAMU.
Okay. I was gonna
they are
FAMU.
Huh?
I was gonna say FAMU.
Yeah, they are, you know, what's funny? All HBCUs have their own culture and their own style. So what I learned is Spell House, that they have a little bit of my style, but FAMU is like my style.
It's a little loud.
Yeah, like if I want to do the most exotic, crazy, creative, you know, design, they will buy it. Spell House, they may or may not, you know, like I have some of those girls who are like, you know, edgy and fabulous, but for the most part, Spelman is very conservative. And so is Morehouse. So, and that's just learning business too, you know, learning your customer, learning your target audience. Also, my audience isn't, you know, I'm young. I don't know if I'm technically young anymore because there's people that's younger than me now, but my clientele is 20 to 60. Like, I have, like, it's literally 40, 50, like they're buying my clothes, and the style doesn't change. Like if you're a FAMU girl, you know, at 40 versus a FAMU girl at 20, like you're still repping your school and you're going all out. So I will show you my new piece. I just finished it. My number 3 school is Howard. So this is my new Howard bodysuit. It was in navy, but after market research, I've learned that red is more of the color that they resonate with. And then I have the half bison on the back. So bodysuits, you'll notice that, like, if I don't like a product, or if I don't like, you know, designing or actually producing a product, like I won't push it. And I need to get over that. But bodysuits are a headache to do. So Spell House, FAMU, Howard, and then Hampton. So that's like my top 4 in that order.
You made it.
Yeah, who's after that? I'm trying to think. And then I don't only do schools. So like Cowboy.
What is your top 3 Greek organizations?
Well, right now I mainly do sororities. I haven't dipped too much into fraternities. So in order, it's been AKA Delta and then Zeta Phi Beta. More recently, it has been SG Row. Have been, you know, doing me well. But like overall, that's kind of how it goes.